Hey guys, it's Babypowder, and we're back with another one of our cleanout videos for our 200 run series part 2. And this is going to be week 18, where we added the loot from both Stratholme and from Scarlet Monastery, where we did like the 4-wing thing, which was pretty cool because we got to see, you know, just how all the different wings kind of performed for us. Of course, you know, everything's RNG, so it could have been better, it could have been worse also. So really hard to tell in a way, kind of, but it did seem like, you know, Graveyard was definitely not worth doing with that. But anyway, that's the loot video. If you guys want to go check it out, you definitely can. It's already up on YouTube. So yeah, we did cover that. But anyway, looking at how we did for week 17, the review here before we actually get to our bank costs and see how much gold we made this week. Going and first looking at you know, how much we made 328,813 gold. Not bad. I mean, it's over the 200,000 by quite a bit. Kind of came down from like the over 500,000 we were making the previous weeks, but hey, that's going to happen as long as we're over the 200,000. It's good. But yeah, that was a good amount. That brought us up to a total of 6,139,337 gold, which is great because I mean, that's still way above where we were in the first series. Even after their week 18 clean out, they were only, you see here, they were only at 3,430,144 gold. This week, that series actually had made 168,364 gold. So they were still under the 200,000, although it was a big bump up from them, you know, only making like 61,000 the week before. So they were headed back in the right direction, but hopefully, as long as we hit our 200,000, it's not going to be hard to beat. So again, we still want to aim for at least 200,000 and of course as much gold as we possibly can, so we can reach that 10 million a lot faster. And that is the goal, hitting 10 million as fast as possible. That does leave us so far after week 17, we only have 3,860,663 gold left to make to hit that goal. So of course, we want to close that gap as much as we can this week. Again, we are tracking the items from the series 1. We just moved them over to other realms and just seeing how they are kind of like passively making us gold. And last week they didn't really do too well. They only made us like 78,000, but again, it's like passive gold other than having to post the stuff. And as it dwindles down, you know, it's taking less time to post it because we have less items, right? But they actually had a really good week this week. We actually made 448,108 gold with those old items. So that's really good. See, you can still, for a long time after, you know, building up that stock, you can passively make a good amount of gold. That now means that since we started this series, just those items that we haven't added anything new to have made us 5,199,000 gold, which is a pretty good passive amount of gold, other than of course having to post stuff on the auction house. But anyway, back to this one. We are again doing this between the same realms we did the first time, Proudmoore and Thrall. And last week Proudmoore made us 240,000 and Thrall only made us 88,000. Again, Proudmoore has been making us the most amount of gold with 3,457,000 so far, and Thrall only making us 2,681,000, which is still good. It does mean that still Proudmoore has actually made us more than even after weeks 18 clean out for series 1. They made us with both realms, so that's really good. So far as our transmog, we've made 5,417,000 of the 6 million here, and then our materials we've made 721,000, which of course we're mostly aiming for transmog, but it does help out with the little bit of materials there. I mean, they're getting close to 1 million. That's a pretty, you know, hefty chunk of gold there. But anyway, guys, this week we are going to be looking to see if we sold anything for Stratholme, see if we sold anything from Scarlet Monastery. Next week we'll be adding our stuff from Iron Docks and Sunwell. Well, of course, we'll actually only you know, putting the stuff off for about a week because I'm going on vacation. I'm actually getting ready to leave as soon as I finish this video. But yeah, we'll be taking a break for a week, so everything will be put on hold. Again, just a reminder on that. I was going to try to get the loot video done too, but I'm kind of running out of time, so that will probably be the week that we actually do the clean out. We'll actually have that video, so that will be put behind for about a week. But anyway, guys, before we get into our bank costs and see just how much gold we made, if you guys do enjoy these videos, go and smash the big thumbs up. Lets me know that you like it and helps out the channel. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. All right, guys, so first off, as always, we'll start this off with Proudmoore. We'll look at the low value transmog, then we'll take a look at the high value, then we'll take a look at the materials, and we'll do the same thing with Thrall. All right, guys, so first up, as mentioned, we have our low value transmog for Proudmoore. Let's take a look, see what they got. And we have some sales. So 50 sales, only 39,110 gold. Means we sold some stuff really low. We like to have like 1,000 gold per average sell, but hey, we're clearing up some space. Plus we're doing iron docks, so we're going to be filling a lot of space. So we kind of really need to get some of these low things out of here. So I'm kind of okay with that. Let's go ahead and take a look. So we got the Nat Pickle book actually sold for 4,700, so that's really good. Then we also have Lofty Wrist sold for 3,300, and then a couple more Nat Pickle books. Unfortunately, these ones only sold for about 1,600. Still not the lowest. I've seen them sell for under 1,000, and we still got tons of these things. But yeah, it's been nice to see them sell around that 5,000 mark. We also have the the Ice Mill Jerkin here sold for almost 1,900. We have the pattern for the leather chest guard of the sun sold for 1,000. We also, and that's pretty good because this is of course probably one of the items that we usually get from like Sunwell, and we'll probably be restocking stuff like that. Buccaneers vest sold for 1,700. Recipe for destruction potion sold for 1,000. And the Nat Pickle book went back up. We sold it for 4,700 there. Unfortunately, just those three didn't sell for that much. All right, guys, so now for the stuff that we really want to see, we want to see how the high value stuff did for Proudmoore. Let's take a look. And we've got 12 sells, 162,836 gold. So man, we're like right there at the, or actually may already be over the 200,000 with the low values. That's really good. Let's take a look, see what we got. So we got the tarnished bastard sword sold for 5,800. Sporting rifle sold for 37,000. I think we actually did just recently get that from, I can't remember if it was Mana Tombs or we got it from doing the blood furnace, but yeah, one of those, I'm pretty sure that's where that came from. Whirling Dervish breeches sold for 1,300. A couple low ones here. That's just an amulet. We got the schematic for the Craftsman monocle, which we actually got from Nomer. 5,000. That one is only valued at I think like 50,000. Maybe will even drop down, so I'm not really worried about that. You get a ton of those. You also pick them up from like Alderman and other places. That is the one that drops in Nomer off that last boss. That can also drop in other places, and it's rather low, so that's okay. Ritual tunic sold for 21,000, and then we sold a star belt pattern. Okay, and that sold for 70,000. Do believe we did get that from Alderman. That may seem kind of low, but I mean, really, honestly, you'll sit on those things forever, so I'm okay with that. Vendetta sold for 11,000, and then two Thistle Tea patterns sold for about 1,900 gold. So nothing really, stands out as amazing, though we did actually sell the star belt pattern. All right, guys, so last bank alt for Proudmoore before we switch to Thrall. Let's go ahead and take a look at the materials and see how they did. And we've got 33 sales, only 17,621 gold. Now, last time we did Stratholme, it was very high. I mean, it was the highest we actually made in materials because of those righteous orbs. But yeah, that means they did not sell for nearly as much as they sold before, so they may have went down, which means it's probably less of a reason to do Stratholme now, unfortunately. Although there are still like blue items and stuff, but you may decide to do the dead side because just the righteous orbs aren't valued up as much as they were before. But anyway, Essence of Undeath, we got 12 of those for 1,100. Let's see what else we got here. We've got the righteous orbs, 83 of them only sold for 2,800, which means that yes, they sold really low. I think they were over 100 gold a piece or something, up there last time we did it. So that's a big difference, because that means that we should have made a lot more gold with them at least. But anyway, we also have Essence of Undeath. 100 of them sold for 8,929 gold. I mean, the Essence of Undeath is selling for more than the righteous orbs. We also have Righteous Orbs again, 156 gold sold for 3,000. So yeah, nowhere near what we were expecting versus last time we actually did it. Alright guys, so back to low value transmog, but this time for Thrall. Let's see how they did compared to Proudmoore. And we got some sales, 57 sales, again a lot of sales, and this time the value's much better, at least 61,658 gold. It means we at least did make that 1,000 gold average per sale, even though I'm seeing some kind of little stuff here. But again, good to kind of clear some of this out because we've had so much. Let's see, first up here we have the Nat Pagel book, sold for 2,800, a little less than, a little more than the 3 that we sold, but a little less than the 4,700 we were seeing. We also sold the TechBot CPU shell for 2,700. Now this also comes from Nomergon's, the common item. You get a ton of those doing Nomergon. I've actually sold these though for around 30,000 in the past, but most times it's around 1,000 gold, so that's actually really good still. Then we also have the Poison Vial ring. Wow, another time we've sold a ring for over 5,000 gold, 54. This is quite shocking. I'm kind of missing the mark with putting these in the 1,000 gold group that I have that doesn't allow them to go over 1,000 gold when posting, but hey, it's been pretty good because we've sold them for over 5,000. Time Worn Shadowtooth boots sold for 8,000. That's going to be from Isle of Thunder. Incised hammer, so a WOD item, which we're going to be restocking here soon, 3,800. And then we also sold the Wranglers wristbands for 2,300, Wrangler's belt for 4,800. So maybe somebody's building a set there. We also another Nat Pagel book, 2,800. We also have Elegant leggings sold for 2,300. Then Outland Shield, which probably came from, of course, when we were doing Mana Tombs and Blood Furnace, 6,500. We also have a Rane Cow, I guess how you say it, 4,100. I'm pretty sure that's WOD as well. Again, we'll be restocking that stuff soon. Plundered Amber Slinger sold for 1,800. Standard issue Shield from when we were doing Tristful Glades, 1,100, and just a bunch of low stuff. All right, guys, so back to high value transmog and on Thrall this time. Let's see how well they did compared to Proudmoore. And we've got 13 sales, 286,731 gold. So yes, they beat Proudmoore this week, definitely, both in low value and high value. This is awesome. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what they got. Plus, I mean, that's already over 200,000, although we're already over the 200,000 we aim for. Bloodmane Greatsword, WOD item, 2,300. Null Blade for 3,400. The Gizmotron Mega Chopper for 8,200. It's kind of low, but again, we have a lot of those, so I'm not too stressed on it, and they take a little while to sell. Sursinger Spellblade, actually been sitting on this one a long time too. This is actually from Wrath, 14,000, not bad there. 2 Thistle Tea patterns for 2,300. The Arachnidium robes for 1,900, and then we sold a Shadow Fang. So we sold one of our super items from SFK, the Shadow Fang here, for 213,750 gold. It actually sold for like 225,000 at auction house cut, man. But yeah, that's actually really good. You may think, oh man, that's so super. You only sold it for a little over 200,000, but at the same time, these things you sit on forever. I've actually got like 5, or I had 5 like floating around. I have 4 now, but still at the same time, somebody told me that, you know, I should check all NA prices and kind of look at it as far as, you know, that, and maybe go to the lowest NA price. But actually, I mean, somebody was posting these things, I think for like 180,000 or something like that across all of NA. So I still made more than the lowest one on NA. So that's still really good in my book. And they've kind of dropped down in value. They're only like valued at like 500,000. So it's almost half. So that's pretty good right there. And I mean, we sell other things for less than half their value. And then we've got the plants with the Thorium Shield Spike for 2,800. Bloodlust Boots for 15,000. The Grizzly Jerkin for 5,000. Staff of Divine Infusion sold for 4,500. And a Skettish Staff for about 10,000 gold. But yeah, really nice to actually get rid of one of those Shadow Fangs because we've got so many now. All right, guys, so our very last bank alt before we pull up our sheet and see how well we did this week, let's go ahead and take a look. And we've got 26 sales, 21,105 gold for materials for Thrall. So a little bit better than Proudmoore. Let's go ahead and take a look. See, Essence of Undeath sold for 7,500. That was 79 pieces too. And then we have 67 pieces sold for 5,900. And then our Righteous Orbs sold all of them at once at 307 pieces at 5,900. So still a lot less than we actually got for them last time, but still not bad for what we had versus the Righteous Orbs dropping in value. And may just gotten a little bit better RNG with getting materials this week for Thrall, because it doesn't really seem like we got any pets or any of the other stuff. Well, actually maybe some very, very low pets. All right, guys, so back to our sheet, and to conclude this week's clean out for week 18, how we did, we made 550,335 gold with our transmog, 38,726 gold with the materials. Been nice to be over 100,000 there too. Just adding in a little bit more, but the Righteous Orbs just seem to have dropped down in value. But that brings us to a grand total of 589,061 gold. So we're back over 500,000 even. So really, really good week, which means we definitely did more than what we made last week, and brings us to a grand total now of 6,728,398 gold, which demolishes what we did with series 1. Yeah, definitely a lot more than 168,000 they made on the week 18, and just increases our lead over that 3,430,000 they have had at this point. That does now leave us 3,271,602 gold left to make until we actually reach our goal. So almost down to 3 million only left to make, which is really, really good. This week, as far as our transmog, we have now made 5,417,000 in transmog alone, and 5,968,000. I was reading the wrong one. That was last week's. And then we made 760,000 so far in materials, getting close to breaking 1 million with materials. We'll see if we can do it before we hit the 10 million. Although we're going to still aim for transmog mostly. As far as our realms go, we did actually have Thrall make us the most. Proudmoore still made us a good amount, 219,567 gold from Proudmoore alone, and Thrall made us 369,494 gold, which does allow them to get a little bit closer to catching up to Proudmoore, but they're still quite far behind. But so far, Proudmoore has made us 3,677,000, and Thrall now has broken 3 million at least, making us 3,050,000 as far as their portion of that goal we've made. So really, really good clean out. We didn't really see any specific items from Strat sell this week. Maybe some stuff from Scarlet Monastery at least. But yeah, Strat is, we didn't get too lucky with like the specific drops from there anyway. Not as lucky as we got last time, unfortunately. Did see some things I felt like from like Manitoum's Blood Furnace, which was pretty recent as well, which is really, really good. But anyway, guys, I think that's going to really wrap this one up. I need to get out of here and get to vacation. So if you guys do enjoy this, go ahead and smash the big thumbs up. Let me know that you like it. Also, do not forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Again, we'll be taking a week off because I am going on vacation, but we'll be right back at it as soon as I get back. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a great week while I'm out of here, and I hope to see you in the next video and live sometime on Twitch. Take care, guys.